All right, it's another go-round Jeff Dubay show. You should know that because you just downloaded it or subscribed to it or fucking push play on something. If you did it by accident, I'm going to warn you right now. It's it gets a little profane. It's not G-rated. I mean, it's not sick, demented, or twisted. You're not going to need therapy at the end of the hour. But I might. But the topic of the day, clearly, football, Super Bowl. Some of the greatness we saw, some of the collapses we saw, some of the horrible decisions we saw, and the absolutely god-awful halftime show that we saw. I know. Some people love Katy Perry, but
those people are 12-year-old girls.
Well, that's the thing.
Lenny Kravitz saved it.
Oh, Lance Horton, the guest, by the way, my friend from Ramsey County Correctional Facility.
Hello, Radio Man.
And had a great football mind, a man who's an alum of Troy State, or Troy, whatever the fuck they're calling themselves these days. A couple of camps with the Chiefs, and an illustrious Canadian football career that was only done in because the metric system was just too much for him to overcome. I mean, that's like third down and 8 meters. He didn't know if it was like a passing down or a running down.
Time out.
It just fucked with him. But anyways, we'll get to the halftime spectacular with Katy Perry, and I don't care if you like her or if you don't like her. Some people. Here's my theory. I'm just gonna throw it out there right now. We'll get back to it later. But the Super Bowl halftime it's a big stage. It's a big moment, and you've got to have somebody who's got some aura to command that moment. Absolutely. And I'm not a Prince fan. Prince owned that moment. I mean, Prince fucking went out and commanded the moment. And I'm not even a fan.
Bruno Mars did a great job last year.
Yeah,
you know, one of the best ones I've seen.
I mean, you've got to have somebody who can go out there and just say, whether you're liking that person or not, you're watching that thinking, okay, this makes sense. I can see why they got this guy or whatever. I mean, the Stones, Stevie Wonder, U2. I mean, U2 right after 9/11. I mean, those are all good examples.
But when they're washed up ones,
but the Black Eyed
rather
Peas,
have this?
the fucking Black Eyed Peas, what were they thinking?
Well, they were awful.
By the way,
wait a minute. Black Eyed Peas did an okay job. Katy Perry was probably the worst.
Something funny.
She was probably the worst.
I was in the workhouse.
There you go.
I was in the workhouse for the Black Eyed Peas Super Bowl, and I don't remember who it was, because in my dorm at the time, but it's just one of the times in my life where I just had to bite my tongue, or I would have gotten my ass kicked, because we're watching the Super Bowl halftime, and from behind me here, man, Black Eyed Peas is a musical genius. And I wanted to turn around and go, are you fucking retarded? What's wrong with you? Black Eyed Peas. I should have said retarded. I feel terrible. But I mean, the Black Eyed Peas, musical genius. Are you kidding me?
Geniuses.
Oh my God,
people love.
They're musically autistic. They're musically.
They're popular. That does not
popular.
mean that they're genius in any way.
But again, this has nothing to do with not liking Katy Perry, although I think she completely sucks, and she's a bubblegum pop artist, I put finger quotes around. But if she would be big enough to own, I mean, Madonna was just a pop star, but she might have been big enough to own that kind of a moment. Right. You got to have somebody with some aura. And
I don't know who goes into deciding those things, though. Who goes into deciding who's going to play the halftime show?
Well, I posted last night. I think two of the toughest gigs in the world are hosting the Super Bowl halftime show, because no one's going to appeal to everybody, and you've got to be a big star to own the moment. And the other thing is like hosting the Oscars, because no matter how good you do, people like Billy Crystal and David Letterman, people rip them. Are you fucking kidding me? They're money.
But everybody gets ripped hosting the Oscars, though.
Well, yeah. But I think they're two impossible gigs to succeed at. But whatever. I think they're tough.
The halftime show was pretty. It was like you said. It was for 50. It was for children.
It was really aimed toward kids. I mean, the little things dancing around.
Like I said,
and it was so weird.
Missy. Like, where did that come from?
That was
bringing Missy out.
So off.
I love Lenny, though. I like Lenny. Lenny came out. He did his thing. He sounded even good live. You know what I'm saying? So
but
Lenny did his thing.
But the Missy,
rest of it is,
the little Missy.
I don't know. I can't even answer that for you. I don't even know what you're going to ask me, but I don't know.
After I was sitting there watching Little Missy, that's when I posted that the halftime show at least reminded me that I got to go get my hair did.
Right.
I love that line from that. That just a completely grammatically incorrect line, but I love it.
Did she fit in at all?
Into the show itself?
Yeah, I thought it was everything felt off once she came out.
Once she came out, it was like, okay, where the hell are they going with this now?
Yeah,
it
didn't fit.
Yeah, and then they went into the.
Was Snoop kidding about being in the shark costume? Was that a joke? He tweeted that he was in the shark costume.
That had to be a joke.
Yeah, it had to be a joke. Had to be a joke.
I mean, Snoop did do a song with her, but I don't think he would have come out without.
He tweeted that he was in the
seen.
costume.
No, there's no way. No way. That's a great tweet, though.
But if you're the sarcasm, you should have made it appear. He should have made a cameo and took the damn helmet.
It's one of my favorite parts of any movie I've ever seen in old school. Snoop-a-loop. We're gonna go streaky. Bring your green hat.
He would have stole the show if he would have took the show. If he would have appeared.
Well, Will Ferrell was there. They
I know
got
he
him
was
on
there.
TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
Snoop-a-loop. That's the best. So anyway, the Seahawks grabbed the game by the throat in the third quarter. Find numerous ways to give it away, but I don't want to sit here and get into how Seattle let a 10-point lead, go away and miss their chance at Super Bowl immortality by going back to back. And I do. We have to unfortunately talk about the horrible decision they made at the 1 yard line at the end. But I want to take time to Seattle's blunders are overshadowing the greatness of Tom Brady and the unbelievable play of a no-name undrafted free agent cornerback. I mean, he made an unbelievable read and break on that pass. I mean,
he did.
Unbelievable.
That dude, he gave up some big plays in the game earlier in the game, but you can't take away from Tom Brady and what they did. And they didn't throw the ball deep or anything like that. It was a lot of short, quick stuff.
1.5 second little drops.
I mean, they said, he completed 21 or 22 passes?
Well, it was just nickel and dime.
All within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Just nickel and dime him.
All the way down the field. So you really can't take the Legion of Boom collapse and then giving up.
But they had some injuries.
Still, it's the Super Bowl.
It is.
But losing that corner on like the second play of the game was huge.
True. But you know what? I gotta attribute that to Bill Belichick and his coaching because you go right at the rookie, the new guy they put in the game. He got beat twice on the same damn route. I mean, that's just Pete Carroll and them. They got to do a better job, man. I know they try to limit the movement of their defense and not switching sides and all that shit, but at the same time, you got to come on, man. This is the Super Bowl.
Did you look up the name of that corner? What's the
Rod Simon, the Lord.
Oh, the guy
Simon?
they picked on. Simon's the guy.
No, but I'm saying the one who made the play, the New England Patriot.
Oh, Butler.
Yeah, Butler.
Okay, yeah. Because I think that actually what's being lost here is the coaching too. I mean, he knew when they lined up right there what was happening, he made them, and he made a great play.
He said Russell Wilson. He said Russell Wilson kept looking at the stack of receivers. He looked over there the whole time until the ball was snapped, and he knew the play was coming. So,
well, and Chris Carter on SportsCenter put this on Curse. He said Curse has got to get the pick, and Curse did not break when they snapped the ball. Curse was slow off the line, and he didn't get the pick.
Yeah, Brandon Browner jammed his ass.
Yep.
So
what a great day for Brandon Browner. How good does he have to feel?
So Brandon Browner jams Curse.
Mm-hmm. He's a beast. He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's a huge boy. But it's great coaching on their part to put big on big, put him on Lockett.
And I tell you what,
or Curse. I mean,
Russell Wilson, I got a lot of respect for his game, and I think he's the kind of guy you want, face of a franchise, the leader on the field, all that kind of stuff. I thought he was really full of himself in the post-game press conference. I mean, he was the things he said were all about, I feel terrible, let my team down. It was just all about me. It's just me.
Isn't that taking the blame though?
He took the blame.
I don't know. He was
or at least that's what he was trying to do.
No, but he said, I prepare hard. I do everything. I'm not going to take this too bad because I prepare hard. I do everything the right way.
Okay.
I can't blame myself. I can't do that. I think I'm going to be able to move on and be fine because I did this and I did that. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Right. You know what's the most ironic thing about what you just said was the guy who they think is the more selfish player, Marshawn Lynch, said, I knew I wasn't going to get the ball because it's a football. It's a team sport.
Yeah,
he wasn't surprised.
He wasn't surprised that he didn't get the ball because he says it's a team sport.
Well, have either one of you seen the still picture of right when Wilson catches the snap, where the defender is and where the receiver is? Like, I thought it was the craziest play ever to call that. It's a stupid play. It still is. Call. But when you see how far off he is from that coverage, you should make that 9 out of 10 times.
It was a terrible throw.
Play ever. It was a shitty call.
Terrible throw.
Got
to be down and in, and it was up and away.
That's why you don't call it.
That's why you don't call that.
Well,
right.
Yeah,
it has to go back to the coach. Yeah.
I agree.
But like I said, Kurtz got jammed, which messed up the whole time of the route anyway.
But the guy knew it was going to be a pick. They both knew.
Right, but Lockett was late getting to the spot where the ball was being thrown, and Butler beanlined it right there because he knew it was coming. So,
but here's the thing:
you can't take nothing away from him.
Well, here's the thing: Curse pulls one out of his fucking ass, and the Patriots are basically going, "How the fuck is this going to happen to us again?" Yep. I mean, this is a team that's had some shit happen to them in Super Bowls.
The look on Brady's face was great.
Yeah, it was an absolutely here we go again kind of a moment. And you get up to the line of scrimmage, you hand it to Marshawn, and he pounds it 5 yards right down to the 1. That team is dead. That team is
they have given up.
That team is done. They are just waiting for the stake in the heart, and you decide to skip around and wait and play. I mean, now I'll tell you this: people are making too big a deal about, like I heard, God, was it fucking Dilfer on SportsCenter was talking about, they got the snap off with a minute, some seconds left, and then their next snap wasn't until there was 40 seconds left. They wasted all this time. They want to waste the time.
Absolutely.
I mean, what the fuck do you want them to give them the ball back with a minute?
If anything, Belichick should have taken the time out.
I agree.
He missed the time out.
Yes, I agree. Seattle was not disorganized. Seattle was not fucking anything up.
I think they were actually thrown off by the fact that they didn't call timeout.
But so here's the question. Bevel is considered an elite offensive coordinator and somebody who's bound for a head coaching job sooner rather than later. Pete Carroll is an offensive guru, an offensive genius, who is also a control freak. Who do we think called this play? Carroll's on. He's jumped on the grenade. He's from the time they walked off the field, he's fallen on the sword for this one. But do we believe? Is it his call or is it Bevel's call?
I think it's Bevel's call. I think Bevel called it. Carroll should have overridden it and said, "Fuck you."
That's what that's not what we're going to do.
But there were some reports today that said Bevel called a running play and Carroll called a passing play.
And you see this conspiracy theory behind it?
Exactly. The conspiracy is they don't want Marshawn Lynch to be the star.
Correct.
They wanted
Correct.
Wilson.
They wanted
to be the star.
They wanted the company guy.
They're trying too much.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe Pete Carroll's going to make a call based on. I mean, I know that they don't like Marshawn Lynch. I know Marshawn Lynch is a pain in their ass. And to be honest with you, Marshawn Lynch is not a good guy. I mean, he's on record as saying he does not.
How could you say that about?
He's on record saying he does not like white people. I mean, I don't either. I don't either.
Where did you see this?
It was in an interview. He said, "I don't like white."
Was that the one that he won't talk to the interview or be interviewed ever again because of?
I don't want to be a hypocrite here because I like very few white people. But I mean, come on. I mean,
I don't believe that for 1 second.
Oh, come on. The guy eats Skittles, so people think he's nice. Gangsters eat Skittles.
He drinks Skittles and eats drink. I mean, Marshawn Lynch is who he is. He's a ball player. Or he's just about.
He almost tore.
In the words of I'm about that action, boss.
Well, he's a great player.
He wants to do is
he's a
play
great
football.
player, but
you can't.
No, that's not like
a great player.
He almost tore apart a Super Bowl champion because his quarterback ain't street enough. I mean,
he's not Percy Harvin.
Oh no, he and Percy were boys, and they were trying to take that thing apart. He hates Russell Wilson.
Okay.
He might have Russell Wilson killed. He might have killed him.
Even so, you give him the football, you win the championship, and then fucking be done with him.
Absolutely.
Win the Super Bowl and be done with him.
I mean, we've got to the point where I don't care what these guys can be killing and raping and maiming and whatever.
Right.
I mean, until you get caught, we'll give you the ball.
I'd rather him have the on-field actions. Than off the field. You don't hear about Marshawn Lynch off the field.
Right.
He just does his thing. He's with his family and all that stuff.
Just off hating white people.
Yeah, well, I mean, he does it quietly. So is Riley Cooper.
Cool.
He's still in the NFL catching touchdown passes.
Can you imagine him and Marshawn Lynch?
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, that's unbelievable.
I mean, you can't really.
That's like J-Date meets Christian Mingle. It'd be just hell on earth. Dogs and cats sleeping together.
Black people meet
and farmers only. Yeah. All these cultural just differences clashing on the internet. Right. But the greatness of Tom Brady. I mean, I put him. To me, Montana is always going to be the greatest of all time because he never lost a game that mattered. I mean, a playoff game here or there, but I mean, the Super Bowls he was money, just lights out. But now Brady is the closest thing I've ever seen to Montana. But he did lose 2 Super Bowls. I mean, 2. And I'm sitting there watching this, thinking, "Fuck, he's going to lose 3 in a row." And the way he rose up and took that team down the field, I mean, twice, and had the dagger when he got down there. I mean, and then we're talking about a guy who threw a couple of bad picks.
I think the deciding factor also is Tom Brady's doing it with less talent.
Oh God, yeah.
He's way less.
He's making.
But he's done it his whole career with lesser guys.
Oh, yeah.
Guys nobody even knows about.
He's got guys on his team that can't even get laid, and he's making them stars. I mean,
Danny Amendola came into the league as a practice player.
Yeah.
Edelman was a quarterback in college or something like that. Shane, I mean, all of these guys are nobodies.
Oh, they're nothing.
I ain't saying nobodies, but they're come on, they're not first and second.
No,
Vince Warfolk is the only. Him and Solder are the only 2 first-round draft picks on that whole starting 22.
But you want to talk about just coaching and genius and McDaniel and Belichick and game planning, and I mean there are differences. I mean there are guys who are smarter than other guys. There are guys who can game. I mean we're talking about a team that in a playoff game forced an opponent to take timeouts because they were showing formations that they'd never been seen before, and they were perfectly legal. Right. So I mean these are guys who think outside the box. Now, you go into this game against Seattle, and Seattle's a beast of a defense no matter what you're trying to do, but they're toughest against the pass. I mean, nobody goes into games against Seattle thinking we're going to attack through the air. We're going to get what we can through the air, but, I mean, it's just not – you don't think we're going to throw 50 times against them and win. But
they did, and New England had a non-existent running game pretty much.
Well, yeah, but didn't you think that going in that they were going to pound Blunt? I thought they were going to give it to him.
You know what? I had no idea what New England could do because I didn't think honestly their offensive weapons were good enough to get open I didn't think.
Right.
I just didn't think that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I thought the corners were going to eat up the receivers, and they were going to have to give it to Blunt 30 times.
Right. And I knew Gronk would have a good game, but fuck, I didn't think he shit on everybody they put him against. Well, Gronk, even Cam Chancellor. So
Gronk, there's not a matchup in the league for him. I don't know who. The players that yet been born that's made to cover him.
Because I actually thought Cam Chancellor would do a great job covering him, but I mean, there was even plays Cam Chancellor was out there.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to have the biggest beast of a safety. I mean, just
good.
You'd have to have you know who might be the most equipped in the league, and he's a cornerback, and he's his teammate, is fucking Browner, because he's big enough to handle it physically.
I don't think he's physically strong enough.
But who is?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Cam Chancellor's that biggest. I mean, he's bigger than Browner. He's playing safety.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably just as great as an athlete. He runs fast. He's quick. He can make all the plays. He can cover. He can hit. And freaking Gronk was still making him look like a.
Yeah.
You know, like a high school kid.
Yeah, tougher Patriot tight end to match up with, Gronk or Hernandez. Hernandez is killing people. Yeah, I know. Stay away from him.
I liked Hernandez too, man. He was
a beast,
man.
When I didn't know he's killing people, I was down with him. And that soured my opinion.
He was a murderer either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just.
Thanks, Urban Meyer, for covering up.
Well, I mean, and he was just an idiot too. I mean, he hides his SUV in his uncle's garage. The SUV that the FBI is looking for, like a nationwide dragnet. They find it in his uncle's garage. Oh, it's not mine.
But he still might get off.
Oh, he's not getting off.
There's no evidence.
There's no way.
There's no weapon.
Well, they don't need a weapon. I mean, this guy.
He might. Don't be surprised.
Well, cool. I hope we sign him. I'm just kidding.
I like Aaron. You know,
I'm just kidding. So anyway, the way they decided to put this together. Get back to my original point. I'm watching the first couple of drives. And they're just, they're trying to nickel and dime them and go down the field. And I'm not overly impressed because, to be honest with you, in the National Football League, defenses are going to let's go to New England's second drive. Where they went down the field and threw a pick in the end zone. The teams, NFL teams, are going to give you that. I mean, they're going to let you throw underneath all day long and stay behind you, and they're going to make the tackle. Right. You want to dump it out for 3, 5, 7, whatever. You can get that, and as soon as your guy makes the catch, I'm going to put him down. We're going to play off, and we're not letting get anything behind us, and then we're going to tackle after the catch. And we don't believe that you can go 12 plays without a fucking holding penalty, a fumble, or an interception. Because as soon as you get a penalty, now you're in second long, third long. Now you got to go downfield. We're going to stop you, or you're going to get down to the goal line. You're going to throw a pick. I mean, it's the definition of bend but don't break. And teams in the so that drive that New England put together that resulted in the interception, I was not impressed because again, teams are going to give you that. They're going to let you do it, and then they came back to the next drive and they did it again. Right. And it's just like, okay, they've got to show me that they're going to have to be able to sustain something on the ground or find something over the top because they're not going to beat them doing this all day long. No. And they did beat them doing that all day long, and that's what impressed the hell out of me.
Well, I think it opened up a little more when Lane got hurt. One of the, they have 4 good corners. When Lane got hurt and they put Simon in the game. I mean, this kid is
they just went after him.
Yeah, he's just out there on the island. I mean, but wouldn't you?
They might as well have the bathtub kid from Saturday Night Live. I mean, Michael Myers, Simon.
But wouldn't you? I mean, he's just, that's something you got to. If you're going to go man coverage and this guy is fresh off the bench,
Simon is going to cry himself to sleep for a month.
Oh, absolutely.
He's going to wet the bed.
Absolutely. I mean, he can't. I don't feel bad for the kid, but I mean, hey, he got baptized in the wrong game of the season.
Yeah, he did. But that takes you back to Butler, another no name. A guy who was an undrafted free agent corner. And on that last drive, on the fateful final drive for Seattle, he made 3 fucking plays in a row. Big. I mean, they threw him down the right sideline where he jumped up and knocked it down. Great play. And what's his face? Collinsworth pointed out. Fantastic play. Collinsworth, I thought, was fabulous.
He was great.
By the way. I thought he just couldn't have been any better. And he was fearless in going after people. I mean, he was instantly, what a fucked up call. I mean, right away.
Yep.
I mean, you almost wish you could swear just so you know how pissed he is. But then, the next play, the Chris Dishman play, we all remember. Right. Butler was right there and made that play. And I mean, this is a kid who's a rookie. He's undrafted. It's Super Bowl crunch time, and he's just stepping up making plays, and he jumps that route at the 1. Unfucking believable.
Coaching. That's all you can say is coaching.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'll say earlier in the game, Matthews, this kid that was stocking Foot Locker boxes.
How about that guy?
This guy, nobody knows who he is.
First catch of his career.
He's out there.
The first time he ever touched the ball was the onside kick.
He's out there killing Logan or whoever his name is. But what did Belichick do? Okay, he's a big kid. He can run. We're going to put Browner on him. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have many more catches after that. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, why Why didn't Pete Carroll and them make the necessary adjustments? You see this kid out here getting murdered in Simon. Simon's out here just getting Edelman is just cutting his ass to pieces.
I keep thinking Michael Myers in the bathtub every time he says Simon.
I mean, I'm saying he's just murdering this kid. I mean, come on. You got the self-proclaimed best corner in the league, and you got Maxwell, you got Thomas, and you got all these guys. Put somebody else on this kid. He's getting murdered over there. He's a young dude. He's in the Super Bowl. You guys are trying to win the game, and you just let him sit him out there on the island by himself. Granted, I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to build confidence, and we don't bend.
We don't teach lessons at the Super Bowl.
Right. That's not a time to teach a fucking lesson.
No, it's not.
It's just not a time to teach a lesson, and they just, coaching. I just think they got out-coached in many facets of the game.
Can I tell you what I'm sick of? Being in broadcasting for 20 years and being somebody who's soaked up a ton of over-the-air sports broadcasting over the years, is I'm so sick of assholes being called characters. Richard Sherman's a fucking asshole. He's a dickhead, and when they called him a character, I mean. When Darrelle Revis, who's a guy you should have some fucking respect and some reverence for if you are a cornerback in the National Football League, when he gets picked off by a fucking referee and gives up a touchdown, you don't need to be talking shit about him on the sideline.
But I'm glad somebody else seen that because I'm like, well, the ref kind of helped him. Actually helped him a lot. And they were like, oh, he just got torched by Baldwin. I'm thinking dude, the freaking ref picked him.
That is a veteran route, though. I mean, that ref is always there.
But I'm saying it's a veteran route, but I mean, come on now. I mean,
what I'm saying is even if
now he'll be wrong next time if he just ran through the ref. And just
demolishes him.
Just demolish the ref just to make a play. I tried to make a play. I didn't mean to kill him. I just tried to make a play.
But I mean, even if he would have fucked up and gotten beat clean, who the fuck is Richard Sherman on the sideline to be talking about one of the greats who's ever played his position like that? That pissed me off. I mean, I have a little fucking respect, a little reverence, and
I like Sherman.
And to show the difference. I mean, you got Sherman just being a bitch on the sideline. I can't stand him, but teach his own. But then after the game's over, on the field, Belichick hugs Revis and he says, "That's why you came here."
Right.
I mean, that's just fucking class.
But
I mean, that's why
you can't self-proclaim. You can't be the best corner if you don't cover the best. I don't know if y'all know this, but Richard Sherman he only stay on one side of the field.
Right. He never
covers the best. The best receivers in the game. It's a game of matchups.
Yeah.
We moving you to slot. We moving you right. We moving you left. We moving you wide out. Moving you tight end. He's not on that guy all the time like a Darrelle Revis, like a Patrick Peterson or Chris Harris Jr. from Denver. Yep. He's not always on the best guy, so you can't really say I'm the best corner.
Is that because of the talent around him though? Because they're allowed to do that, where he can just play one side and the other guy plays the other.
That's the illusion they want to sell. Like we don't.
Well, when they had Browner, they had a pair.
Well, when you got Browner, but Maxwell is just as good. You know what I'm saying? They had Walter Thurman, whatever his name is. Walter Thurman the third. Or,
you see that?
Yeah, I see that. I was going to ask you that.
Do I look like a hillbilly? Or
I didn't know. I didn't want to see if you got punched in the mouth or not. But I was going to ask you I was going to ask you on the way home.
I know I look fucking ridiculous.
I just didn't want to bring it up.
I just look like a Gomer.
But you can't. You know what I'm saying? You have to cover the best. I want to see you cover Dez. I want to see you cover Jordy Nelson, Megatron, stuff like that.
Don't put Jordy Nelson in that conversation.
Yeah, Jordy Nelson big compliment to Nelson.
Hold on. Jordy Nelson is a good receiver.
He puts up numbers. But I mean,
you don't think Jordy Nelson is one of the better receivers in the league?
If he's on the Vikings, he catch 50 balls for 600 yards. I mean,
that's a ton of credit to Packers in the offense. But what I'm saying is Richard Sherman didn't cover him all game. Right. And Jordy Nelson didn't have a bad game against Seattle last time out.
No, before we go to break, though, I want to point out this will be my final attempt at filleting Chris Collinsworth via the internet. That's another great point he made early. Is that and again it goes back to coaching. New England came out in just straight up dead man to man and just fucking beat them
across the board.
Just man to man, and the thing is they didn't give up a completion to the middle of the second quarter.
Yeah,
I mean it was money.
It wasn't even a safety.
It
wasn't a safety.
Yeah.
They lined up across.
And it makes me think that maybe Seattle should have taken a shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they did late with Marshawn Lynch, but I mean,
here's the other thing.
Or Matthews.
When you've got all the man to man, you know what that opens you up for? It opens up against you. Is that fucking quarterback can take off, and your DBs all got their back to him. I mean, when you're in a zone, it's when the team's in a zone, guys are facing the quarterback, and it's hard for a quarterback to rip off a long one. Right. But if you got guys chasing guys, that's when a quarterback can find some space.
They only took advantage of that going into the halftime when they scored with 2 seconds left in the half.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only
that
time
was gutty.
That was the only time they really took advantage of that.
That took balls.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You got to get on the board. You get down in New England by 14, it's over. I mean,
but when you line up, and again, another point by Collinsworth, when you line up And I know the kid had never caught a pass before yesterday. But you line up and you see him, 6 inches taller than the guy across from him, and it's man to man. I mean, it's done. It's a done deal. You snap the ball, I'm going right there.
I don't think anybody knew that kid was that good. I don't think he knew that he'll go up and high point the ball the way he did.
I think Wilson picked that out before the snap. I mean, he knew where he was going.
I don't think nobody on Seattle or New England knew that he was that good. But they threw him they threw him in the game because they didn't have nobody else.
I think New England needed a timeout there. I mean, they line up and you got man to man, and the guy's a foot taller.
Seattle had every opportunity to win this game and take control of this game.
I think New England needed to take a timeout before the play at the end of the half. That's the mismatch on the left side was glaring. But hey, let's take a quick break. Come back, talk more Super Bowl with Lance Horton. Folks who've listened to the show, they know that I lived in the Uptown area here, right down Pleasant Avenue, as a matter of fact, and on the corner of Pleasant Lake is where Uptown Pawn is. And I have been here numerous times, had numerous business dealings with them. It's just a nice place with good, honest people. Bob Jacobson, the owner, you run the place. You've always been good to me.
Thanks, Jeff. We try. That's part of our business. We're here to help people, and so everybody walks in the door. We hope we can help.
Well, what I've always appreciated is when people are nice to people who are the low man on the totem pole. Like when I was a bat boy, I like the star guys who are nice to the bat boy. Right. And I mean, I came in here and you guys didn't know who I was. You didn't know I had a radio show, and you treated me great. I mean, just a guy up the street.
Listen, that's the idea with I think a smaller family type business. Somebody walks in the door, we don't want to let them see everybody gets treated the same way, and we hope that's the case. And we don't want to see them leave without. We try our very best.
It's really easy. It's easy. It's low pressure. Good, honest people. Right on the corner of Lake Street and Pleasant Avenue. You guys got to check out Uptown Pawn. We're back. Talking Super Bowl. Jeff Dubay, Lance Horton, Jason McGovern, here in the South Side Studios. No dig. I just moved today. Back to my old neck of the woods. Back to the Western Burbs. I'm a Western Burbs guy. Of course, you're an LA guy. Shit doesn't mean nothing to you.
Yeah, this is all Mayberry to me.
Where'd you grow up, McGovern?
The east suburbs, Cottage Grove.
Okay.
Where you were staying, yeah.
Yeah, Cottage Grove just feels like it's I feel like it's about suburban Milwaukee.
It's how everybody on the eastern suburbs thinks the exact same thing about all the western suburbs.
But it's not
when you say Plymouth, we're like, what fucking state is that in?
Like Plymouth is 10 minutes from downtown Minneapolis. Cottage Grove is an hour from everything.
Cottage Grove is 15 minutes from downtown St. Paul.
Who wants to go to
That's
downtown
our
St.
claim
Paul?
to fame.
Well, that's like being 15 minutes from Wilmer. Who gives a fuck?
Some good bars downtown St. Paul.
I like St. Paul.
I'm just kidding. So anyway, I'm back in Plymouth, back in the Western Burbs, back in my stomping grounds. I was always been a Hopkins, Minnetonka, Plymouth, Maple Grove guy.
Oh,
I know you care about that.
No, not really. It's still
you grew up like right in Compton, right? You're just
Long
badass.
Beach, Compton area.
LBC,
Carson,
LBC,
all that area.
So you're West Coast,
South LA.
So you're Tupac, Snoop. That's your
Tupac,
scene.
Snoop, DJ Quick, Sugar Free.
Yeah. Ice Cube.
Sugar, yeah, absolutely. Gotta love
food. Yep. Restaurant got a triple double. Guys on the playground counting assists. Get a fucking clue. But Horton tells me that's what they do. He says they count assists. He says you go to the playground.
You gotta count everything. You gotta count everything. Fouls, assists, all of that stuff.
You can't make
Rebounds,
it up. I always thought that's the dumbest thing ever. A guy goes to the playground, mess around, get a triple double. I'm like, what's he counting assists? What the fuck? He's got a statistician on the sideline. Who the fuck is this guy?
Gotta keep your stats. Gotta keep your own stats.
Unbelievable.
You got a kid in training with a notebook.
Oh, it's just bizarre. Hey, that was my 10th assist. That's triple double, everybody.
Hey, that's
I think he'd get his ass kicked right there.
That's why so many good ball players come out of the hood. We got our own stats.
I would think the second you say that, you get your ass kicked.
Not at all.
You might get your ass shot.
Not at all.
I saw White Man Can't Jump. I know what's.
I think I'll bring you to a park in Compton. You see how many athletes out there. They got their own stats.
Dude, you better not walk more than 5 feet away from me if I want to fucking come home. All right, but back to the game. Russell Wilson, 2 weeks in a row, or 2 games in a row, over a 3-week stretch or whatever. He goes 0 for the first quarter. I mean, how do you cannot play? I like Russell Wilson, and I love his poise in the pocket. I love how he extends plays, always has his eyes downfield. But, I mean, he's not the kind of guy who carries a team. He would never go out and throw 50 passes and put a team on his back in the Super Bowl like Brady did. So I'm kind of torn on how to feel about him. I mean, I think he's a good, solid quarterback. I don't know that he's – I don't think he's elite, but I don't know how far off from elite he is. But you cannot get into – we're trying for a repeat here. We're in the NFC Championship. We're in the Super Bowl. You might want to complete a pass in the first quarter. I mean, that's ridiculous. 2 weeks ago.
I think you got to give that credit to New England's defense. They
did.
They can't separate. You couldn't separate.
They need some receivers. They do
need some receivers.
How'd they let Golden Tate get away? What were they thinking?
I don't know about Golden Tate. I could tell you why they let go of Harvin, but about Golden Tate. But you got guys. You got to have guys that get separation. I mean, these guys are running.
You got to keep them separated.
5 or 10 yards routes, and Curse is not the fastest.
Curse does nothing for me. I like Baldwin a little bit, but Curse does nothing for me.
Curse got hands, man.
Well, does he? Because he dropped a pass. He dropped a pass that could have won that game.
That would have been a dagger if he had caught that.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know who had the coverage on that. That wasn't Butler again, was it?
I don't remember.
It was pretty good coverage.
It was good coverage. It was double coverage, but he still would have caught it.
But I mean, Russell Wilson's not thrown into big windows.
No.
I mean, he's not. That's a good point. I mean, he did what you just
But he's not turning the ball over.
Collinsworth
He's not turning the ball over a whole lot either.
Well, in the NFC Championship.
The NFC Championship he did.
But that was an anomaly.
Right, but you're talking about going through the stretch of 2 seasons.
Had a fairly significant.
Not really turning the ball over.
He had a significant one yesterday, I would say. Meaningful turnover. one that impacted the game a little bit.
Again, one that we almost don't even blame him for.
You know what? I mean, he fucking. I don't love either team. I got more respect for the Patriots. I mean, now it turns out Deflategate might just be a bunch of shit. But even if it wasn't, I don't think they're ever getting any kind of significant advantage out of it. So, I mean, I'm not one of these, Belichick's a cheater, he's a fucking loser, Brady's a liar. No, bullshit. They're class, they're fucking Hall of Fame, they're as good as it gets. And I got nothing but respect. I mean, especially once I got the murderer, off the team. But the Seattle, I decided that despite the fact that I like New England more, and there's some guys on Seattle that rubbed me the wrong way, I was going to pull for them because I wanted Kevin Williams to get his ring. I wanted Williams to get it, but the last time I cheered for a Viking to get a ring, it was fucking 16-0, and Moss fucking lost, and I still am fucking bummed out for him because he needed a ring. I wanted him to have a fucking ring, but anyway, I mean, he had like 80 touchdowns that year. How does he not get a ring? But I was trying to cheer for Seattle. I was trying to put all this shit aside and cheer for Seattle, and what do I got to see in the first 30 seconds of the broadcast? Russell Wilson, a whole pack of Badgers. Go fuck yourself, Russell Wilson. Then you went to North Carolina State for 4 fucking years, and then you spent 8 months in Madison where you didn't attend a fucking class. You banged sorority chicks and played football until you fucked up in the Rose Bowl. Don't give me this whole pack of Badger shit. You're not a Badger.
So how do you really feel? Like is that out of the whole thing? That's what get it for you.
Yeah,
pack of Badgers.
I don't know.
He did say that. I guess that went over my head when he said
that. It went over mine too. But that's because I don't hate the Badgers quite as much as Jeff does. Jeff hates Wisconsin more than anyone.
Everything.
Because they always win, especially against the Gophers.
I mean, let's just see what happens when you get all these fucking pack of Badgers conspiring. Because you know who else was a fabulous Wisconsin college quarterback? Darrell fucking Bevel. How did he and Russell Wilson do together yesterday? How'd they make out there?
I had zero.
How'd they make out? How'd they make out? How'd those two do?
Yeah, Bevel's a questionable play caller anyway. Didn't he get y'all to throw away y'all Super Bowl chances?
Well,
I've always thought he was a questionable play caller myself.
Well, I always thought he was because he runs the same shit all the time.
Well, I mean,
it just doesn't change.
I mean, here's where I give him some credit. I mean, the offense was fantastic the year that they had Favre here. But is that Favre? And how much of it was Childress? How much of it was Bevel? But then I look at Seattle, and I see a team with a completely different skill set than the Vikings. A quarterback that doesn't even resemble Favre. They play more zone read. It's a completely different deal, and he gets as much out of that as he got out of this. So that tells me he's got some acumen and some adaptability.
Right.
And he's well respected.
But okay, I can see the play design, but the play calling. It's very vanilla. His play calling since he's been in Seattle has been very kind of predictable at best.
But that's a defense first team too.
It is a defense first team,
and it's a running team.
And that's why.
But this is the same guy that says, "Okay, we're gonna run the bruising back out of the shotgun." You know what I'm saying? Like that just doesn't. He does it on a consistent basis. It's like they run the same freaking play all the time.
But I do think,
and me as a student of the game, I love watching football. It's like I can almost call it. If Marshawn Lynch lines up on the left, he's going to run right. Yeah. He's running right. I mean, it's just he runs the same shit.
But I do think that Russell Wilson doesn't get, like you just said, and I think you're right, but he's never going to be a Brady or a Manning and throw 40, 50 passes.
I'd like to see him with good receivers.
But I think that if you saw him on a team with a so-so defense and a couple receivers, you're going to see a totally different quarterback. Yeah. So I think that he doesn't get enough credit for being as good as he could be because he's not asked to do much.
But he's young. He's a game manager right now. He's just a game.
But do you think Bevel's done that on purpose?
Now you take Andrew Luck. They're throwing everything on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are the face of our franchise. Mm-hmm. We need this, and this from you. Russell, give it to Marshawn Lynch 6 times in a row. Mm-hmm. We're going to play action off of that, and we're going to hit Miller coming across the middle. Yeah. All right, those are your first 7 plays. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Everything is scripted. Yep. Everything is given to him bit by bit. Mm-hmm. He's a game manager, kind of like what they do with what's the boy here?
Teddy?
Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah. He's a game manager, asking him to manage the game because he's still young.
Yeah, he should for a couple years.
Young, and Russell Wilson, he's around a lot of talent. You know, so you don't know really how good he is. Take him and put him in Tampa, then you fucking see how good he is, or something like that.
I don't remember ever seeing, people throwing punches at a Super Bowl until
that was
or an ejection in a Super Bowl.
I can understand the level of frustration being off the charts at that point, but you're still in the Super Bowl. I mean, I've never seen anybody do that.
But Pete Carroll has always been that loosey goosey kind of coach. He did it at SC. Where these guys they were the most penalized team in college football for 3 years in a row because Pete Carroll was kind of loosey with them, and he's a player's coach, which is whatever. I mean, you take it how you want it. He's a player's coach.
College, I mean, he's getting guys hookers. I don't know what it means in the NFL.
And money. Let's not forget the money.
Oh, he knew what was going
money
on.
And
he was implicit.
Souped up Chevys.
He was implicit with Reggie Bush, right? I mean, he knew exactly what was going on. That's why he left town.
But it happens in every college.
Well, sure. I'm not trying to condemn it, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, of course. Wouldn't you? It's like, stay at USC. We're about to get fucked. Or I'm going to go to Seattle where I can call the shots.
Yeah. Well, the second he took that job, that's when I said, okay, USC's in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something's coming.
Everybody knew.
Well, sorry. I thought I was the head of the group. I thought I was smart. But I want to get back to Brady for a second because we seem to talk about his greatness and his, he wanted this one to not to go out on top because he's not retiring. I don't, not have any indication that he is. But he won 3, then he lost a couple, and it's just you don't want to go and lose your last 3-4 Super Bowls, whatever. You just show people, hey, there's still a couple of shots in the Roman candle here, whatever. But I just want to point this out. That forgetting about him as a Hall of Fame quarterback and his place in history and all this, and just looking at him as a dude. I mean, anybody who is that good looking and is hauling in the women he has his whole life, quarterback in Michigan, quarterback in the NFL, anybody who's got that much going for him, anybody that fucking together could really get away with being a dick. And he's a fucking cool guy. He's a solid dude.
I mean, you know what? I love Tom Brady. One, he's from California. He's a California kid.
Sure.
2, him coming out of college, he got beat down. He got tore to shreds. They just ripped him a new one. He's too lanky. He's too slow. He can't throw the deep ball. He'll never start in this league. And look at 4 Super. I mean, I'm not a Patriot fan, but. I'm okay with Tom winning anything. And he's winning Super Bowls with different personnel every time he's winning a Super Bowl. Yeah. Every Super Bowl he's won it with a different offensive personnel. Well, you can't. How could you hate him?
Well, and if you grew up in the area in which I grew up in, it's kind of a Revenge of the Nerds kind of an era where anybody who's like good looking and athletic is an asshole. They're the bad guy. They're the bad guy. Right. But I mean, so Tom Brady, he's the kind of guy who could just walk around and be a dick to people because he's that cool. But he doesn't. Well, he's not like that at all.
He did ditch a pregnant chick. Don't forget that. He did one time be a complete ass. Bridget Moynihan, he ditched her when she was like 6 months pregnant.
Maybe she's a bitch.
Well, she probably was a bitch. I'm not, and he ditched her for Giselle. So again, good, great move. But that's honestly, that's the only thing on his resume that I've ever heard about him that's negative. Honestly, there's nothing else. Well, Deflategate.
I mean, I'm not saying he's like a saint of a person. Now,
but more or less for who he is, he is.
Yeah.
And you're right. He could be a complete prick and get away with it.
Or maybe he found out it wasn't his.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm saying, I don't know. Nobody knows.
Who would cheat on Tom Brady?
That's the most I've ever heard.
Take it back.
There's a lot of girls that cheat on people.
Take it back.
You're never here.
Take it back. Anybody who cheat on Tom Brady, you can't say something like that.
You never know.
If Tom Brady okay, let me put it this way. If Tom Brady gets cheated on, the rest of us got no fucking chance.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. She cheated on him. It ain't his kid, and he moved on to Giselle Bundchen.
And Giselle makes more money than him. So if anybody would cheat, it'd be her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When he started the whole Giselle thing, I mean, I don't know who she was. I don't read fucking People magazine. I don't watch TMZ. But I just know that she's a fucking European model. So I'm thinking she's going to be the Yoko Ono. I'm thinking, whatever. I'm thinking she's going to be the Yoko Ono of the Patriots. He's going to get all fucking wrapped up in the pussy, and it's all going to go to hell. But it didn't. She's cool. You know how cool she is? She gets on Twitter and tells people to go fuck themselves.
That's what I'm saying.
She's the
definition of a bottom bitch.
She's the bomb.
She's the bottom bitch. She fucking went and defended. Those fucking receivers need to get open for my husband.
Yes. She's the best.
She's a bottom bitch.
Yes, and she's a fucking hot smoking out model. And she's on Twitter getting his back.
What is Brady saying when he sees that tweet, by the way? Is he going, oh, shit, I got to go in the locker room with these guys.
Nope. That's my girl.
Yeah.
Smack her on that.
That's awesome. So it's like, from a distance, I'm looking at the All-American quarterback with the good looks and the Brazilian model, and he'd start wearing like funny sweaters off the shoulder and like being all fashioned. And I'm looking at this thinking, these two might be a little fucked up. But then you look a little closer, you're like, no, they're the fucking bomb.
Right, they are.
They're a power couple, man.
Absolutely, and especially out in the East Coast, you got to give him credit, man.
Hell yeah.
He's turned it. I mean, from where he came from. and Michigan sharing
7th
time
round.
with fucking Drew Henson or whatever his name
Well,
was. Exactly. Sharing time with Drew Henson.
So they were after Brian Greasy. They were their post Brian. I'm trying to remember the hire. Was it Elvis Gerbach?
No. Gerbach was in the early 90s. Then Greasy, and then you had Henson and Brady.
Okay.
Sharing time, and I think.
But didn't Henson play minor league ball first?
He did,
and then came back.
Then he came back, and then Tom Brady took Michigan to the Orange Bowl against Bama, won that game, and then they started ripping them apart when he's getting drafted. You know, you never heard of Brady Six and all that. I mean, all these guys that got drafted up, T. Martin and fucking Spurgeon Wynn and all that. Hey, don't talk about T, man. That's my guy. That's my guy back home, man.
Really?
Shout out to T. Martin.
So there's all these California guys. You can keep any of them home?
He's a receiver coach at SC, man.
Oh, is he?
Hung out with him for New Year's
Really?
Eve. Yeah, New Year's Eve.
And the man who showed what a fucking chump Peyton Manning was by taking over his job and winning
Florida. When he beat Florida, and he won the national championship.
Yes, right away.
You know, so I mean, you got to give him credit.
I mean, well, the thing is, I do like Peyton Manning, and I don't like when people think that I don't. But the inevitable or the unavoidable black mark on his career is he just never won big games, and he finally got one Super Bowl. What is that? Somebody playing Pong?
Nobody can hear that. It's the computer, I think, but nobody can hear it. I don't
playing
believe.
Pong, but for years, I mean, Tennessee was loaded and Manning was the bomb, and they couldn't beat Florida. They couldn't get a national title. He's gone. T. Martin's first year, he takes them all the way.
And it was too funny. I actually hung out with T. Martin when I was at home.
And what kind of name is T, by the way? That's like Jay Lehman for Illinois.
But the year after they won the national championship, they come back and they put Peyton Manning's face on the front of the player brochures.
Really?
It's like, fuck T. Martin, still Peyton's team. Pretty much what happened. I said, God, dude, that's
but his name's T, isn't it? T-E-E. His name's
T-E-E. T-E-E Martin.
Remember Jay Lehman for Illinois linebacker? His first name is the letter J. It's not an
It's
initial.
just J, yeah.
His fucking name is a letter J.
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with people? That's not a name.
People get lazy, you know. It's like, fuck it. It's just J.
Well, yeah, Jay. That's
CJ, BJ.
Well, I understand with black people, but white people don't usually make up names.
Hey, I went to college with a white dude named Malcolm.
But that's
pretty fucking.
That's a real name.
Or Trey. I mean, there's a white guy named Trey. T-R-E.
Well, that's a real name too. But black people make up.
It's still the same thing.
Oh, come on, Chamong is not a name.
Who the fuck Chamong? That's Mong or something.
Well, whatever.
I like DeBrickashaw. That is
a classic.
That's
a football player name.
It's kind of cool, but it's not a name. It's not. They made somebody just made that up.
Anything D apostrophe in a first name is just.
Well,
that's a
little
different.
I wanted apostrophe in my name.
Down south, they do kind of like Dentarius and Barkevius.
Yeah, Barkevius. That's not a name. You people got to stop making up names.
Sounds like Roman Empire shit.
You can't blame that on us.
There's plenty of good names out there. Stop making up Barkevius.
People want to be. They want to be unique. It's not necessarily doing a kid a favor because he's probably gonna be able to get a fucking job later. But that people want to be unique and it screws people up.
You know I love black people, but stop making up names. Barkevius. What the fuck is Barkevius?
That's the worst one ever. Barkevius.
It's one thing when he's in the NFL, but at one point in his life, he's little baby Barkevius. You can't love a baby. You can't love a baby named Barkevius. That's fucked up.
That baby's got to come out looking like an adult. You're right.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know, man.
That's just messed up. Well, you know what? Well, we try to compose ourselves and. I got to take a whiz. Let's take a quick break. Okay, last year, 2013, I lived just down the road, Pleasant Avenue, just a few blocks here from Uptown Pond, which is right on the corner of Lake and Pleasant. And, there are a couple of times, you just try to get to that next payday, maybe a couple of bucks short. If you've got some items, jewelry, diamonds, electronics, I mean, you come down here and they give you a fair price for it, and then you come back a week later, 2 weeks later, whatever, you get it back at a real reasonable price.
So we're very competitive, we hope, on different angles, in different ends and different articles. Computers, electronics, TVs, jewelry. We buy, we give loans, and we also have emphasis on diamond jewelry too, that we also try and give credit for the best we can. We're specialists in that area also, so it's an all-round sort of combination.
Well, it's a great place. It's a nice, clean place with honest people, and I tell you what, it's got a real family feel to it. As a matter of fact, it's tied into the Strauss family, and I go way back with the late, great Jerry. So, I mean, these are people I know and people I trust. You can find them on Twitter, too, by the way. They're at Uptown Pond, and also on Facebook, Uptown Pond, and uptownpond.net. We're back. Talking Super Bowl with Lance Horton, Jeff Dubay Show, Jason McGovern at the South Side Studios. Buffy.
It's Jadaciusin, by the way.
What?
No, I don't know what that was. He's trying to make up a name.
It's really become the driving force behind me wanting to watch every sporting event possible because I want to see what names black people are making up. I mean, Barkevius is an all-timer.
It's those SEC kids, man. They coming from the South, and these names are just screwed, man. I mean, there's no other way to really say it, dude. I don't Dontavius, Dontarius, Octavian, Aquaman, all that kind of shit.
Cordero is not a name.
Tavares. Yeah. He's from Alabama. All that stuff. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, let Steve McNair be an example. Not how to get into an affair and get murdered, right. but it's an example to have like a normal person's name.
Black dude named Julio.
Well, see what happens when you name. Well, yeah, that's weird too.
I like it though. I like it.
Yeah.
Julio.
Julio's a beast. Julio is a beast. I mean, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, Steve McNair is kind of a white person's name. I mean, I'm surprised that he was black. God rest his soul. But Steve McNair just sounds like an accountant. Like
he was born in that era where they needed names like that.
But I mean,
Lance,
but you can have
Steve.
But you can have a badass name that's still a real name. Dante Hightower, badass name.
That's a football name.
But that's a real name. Dante's a real name.
Yeah, absolutely.
But. Yeah, how'd they get him? Alabama?
How
the fuck did he fall that low?
I don't know, man.
How'd he go that low?
But they got Jared Mayo that way, and they got the other one that way, too. Spikes.
Oh, yeah. Not Tequila, the other one.
Brandon Spikes. These dudes were productive as hell in college. Yes. I don't know, man. They draft so well. They trade out of their first round pick.
And we talked about Collins. Didn't we talk about, was it 91 Collins? What's his name?
Yeah, Jamie Collins.
Yeah, we talked about him. Didn't we talk about him last time you were here? He's a beast.
He's a beast.
I know Lynch got his 100, but Collins was a pain in his ass.
Yeah.
I mean, he was.
So I don't know, man. They just do a great job drafting. They trade out of their first round picks every year. Like basically who wants it? All right, give me your thirds, give me your fourths. All of this, and they get all these guys at a lesser value, greater talent at a lesser value.
And they draft people with real names, real names like Tom and Dante. Steve Gostkowski, or Steven. Actually, Steven. Talk about accountant. So the Super Bowl. Did you going in? I was surprised that this thing got down to a pick 'em. It was a late betting push, and I honestly thought Seattle was going to win by 2 scores. Yeah. I thought 10-14. I really did. And when they went up 10 in the third quarter,
when they went up 10, I thought it was okay. Yeah, they're going to lay it on now.
Yeah, absolutely. But
they didn't seize the moment.
I tell you, every time, and this. Thank God. Gambling's not legal, or that I don't live in Vegas, because every time I think something is a cinch, I get killed. And this seemed like a cinch. Seattle pick 'em? Are you fucking kidding? All day long? I'd be naked under a bridge in fucking Clark County right now.
You couldn't tell me that.
I mean,
nobody thought that the Patriots receiver was going to be able to run away from the Seattle DBs the way they did. I mean, nobody would have thought that.
And I wonder how different it would have been if Lane wouldn't have gotten hurt right away.
Right.
So who knows? But
did anybody see that, by the way? Because they never replayed it on TV.
He got the ball, then he was going out of bounds, and he kind of just came down on his hand.
And it just broke, right? Because I heard it was gross. Yeah, I read that it was disgusting.
Well, they put it in a cast.
He had a cast on it immediately. So it's one of those things.
I mean, I hope it wasn't sticking through the skin.
It was probably hanging there.
But if you look, he came right down on his hand. So it's just all his momentum down on his hand. Probably just destroyed something.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad. You can only hope that that's not anything. I mean, it's an arm, it's a wrist. You think you come back from it. Absolutely. Speaking of which, Sherman is going to have Tommy John surgery. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How about that? He must really jerk off a lot or something. Tommy John surgery. I mean, that's weird for a cornerback.
Well, he got hit by Chancellor in that back
his own guy.
So but he played. I mean, a lot of credit to him. He played with it.
He did.
I think Thomas,
and he was tackling with it.
Yeah,
and he was
Thomas
using
had a dislocated shoulder the week before.
I wonder how. I mean, I don't know how painful it is, though. To be honest with you,
what's that?
To have that torn
ligament damage.
I mean, you can't go and throw a baseball, but I mean, I've seen guys baseball players have blown out that elbow before the surgery, and they're walking around. They're not fucking crying. Yeah. I mean, if they tried to throw a ball, it'd be different.
But try tackling with that arm then, though. That's the part that I give him credit for.
Richard Sherman does come up and try to tackle.
He does.
You got to give him credit for that.
But he took a shot at something too, right? I mean, he probably couldn't feel it.
I would think
sure, cortisone shot.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, you already know the extent of the injury. I mean, it's not like it's going to get any worse.
Right.
Unless he goes and fucking rubs one out at halftime, he might aggravate it. But I don't know what his habits are. I know his personal habits.
That was a long halftime too. You never know what they do.
I mean, you know what? That's the other thing about these halftime spectaculars. I don't think the game should change. I mean,
right.
You can. I know it's your showcase, and you're putting on a show for the world, and you're trying to milk every dime you can out of it. But keep halftime the same length as it is during the regular season. Why take teams out of a routine? That's fucked up.
How much longer is it?
The game itself should not change.
It's supposed to be 15 minutes, man, but I think them halftime shows are like 30.
I think they're 25, 30 during the Super Bowl.
They double it. I mean, it's typically 12. Like I was always shocked when I was doing Fan Line, for the Vikings radio network. The halftime would hit, they'd put 12 minutes on the clock, and it would start going right away. Mm-hmm. You could barely get to the fucking media chili line and back before the halftime ended. I mean, it's fast. I mean, it's like, well, I don't know why the kickers and punters even go to the fucking locker room.
No, they should just stay on the sideline and warm up.
Yeah, they're right back. I mean, it's... So they go to this, Super Bowl bullshit, 25, 30 minutes. That changes the game. You should not change anything that's implicit to the game.
Russell Wilson took a shower and completely changed his uniform, Collinsworth, or somebody reported. I thought that was weird.
Last year.
Yeah.
He did that last year. He
really?
Showered and changed his uniform.
Well, it was cold. Maybe he was trying to heat up or something. I mean, they were fucking New York.
Did you guys hear that stat that the last four Super Bowl winners were the away team?
No, I have not heard that.
No, I didn't hear that either.
Yeah, the last.
They just rotated every year.
They wore their away jerseys or something like that. Like
that's just a fluke.
Yeah, that's just a fluke.
You think so?
I think.
Oh no, that's kind of.
I mean, they get to pick the coin toss.
Well, they do, but it's kind of. Somebody said that to me earlier today. I was like, well, really? Like, that's interesting.
That is.
Well,
that tells you there's been no repeats because it rotates every year.
Right.
So.
Although there should have been. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt Seattle should have won that game yesterday. I mean,
So are we talking about the play now? Are we talking about that play now?
Which play now? The Wilson play? What do you want? Okay, what about it? Go ahead.
I thought we were going. I thought we were leading to that.
Well, we've already talked about it a little bit.
No, we haven't talked about it. Well, we have.
Okay, break it down.
Well, as a coach, okay, you give the ball to Lynch. He carries the ball 5 yards. You have 1 minute and 6 seconds left. Okay.
Marshawn, not a name. Not a name.
Marshawn, great name. Beast mode Lynch.
Okay, beast mode I can live with.
To the one. And Pete Carroll, they let the Patriots dictate what they wanted to do on offense. Mm-hmm. They said they came out in goal line. As an offensive coach,
didn't want to run into goal line.
We didn't want to run into the goal line. We didn't want to run into the goal line formation. But if you're going to throw the ball, man, just correct me if I'm wrong. I played a lot of football, and just maybe I'm wrong. If you're going to throw the ball on the 1 yard line, it has to be play action, or it has to be a run pass option for the quarterback.
I love rollouts. I love waggle. Little
what I'm saying?
Play action
it has
waggle.
to be to where if he can't run it, he can't throw it. I'm throwing that fucker through the uprights.
And can I take that one step further? It doesn't have to be a fade route too. Like it has to be a corner route where only that guy can catch it. Nobody else, or like you said, you throw it out of bounds.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's just we've been beating this up for the past 24 hours about this damn play call. I just want to know you guys' thoughts on it.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, and I believe Marshawn Lynch should have gotten the ball 2-3 times, however many times it would have taken. But I will say this: the interesting factoid on SportsCenter last night. During the regular season, Marshawn Lynch was given the ball 5 times from the 1 yard line, scored once.
I don't care.
I know.
Is that a stat they're looking at, you think?
No, hell no.
I mean, but they had it in the back of their head even?
Right.
No, because they had any trouble from the one? I mean, that sounds crazy.
He scored 17 touchdowns.
Right.
I don't care where they
can't be stopping you.
I don't care where
second and goal.
It's still
funny. Second and goal on the 1 yard line, and we got a timeout.
It's still funny.
I'm giving them the freaking ball. I don't care what the hell. I don't give a fuck.
I'm giving it to him on 3rd and 4th down.
Absolutely. And I can't, and I love Pete Carroll, man. I love him. But you can't, he killed me when he said, we just wanted to waste a play.
How do you waste
the fucking Super Bowl?
And you can't throw the ball to waste a play either.
Right.
That's a too dangerous play. And
I don't get that.
The thing about that pass
What's
too
the benefit of wasting them?
That happens. That play, if it doesn't work, usually ends up in a tipped ball that flies straight up and somebody picks it.
There's so many things that can happen throwing the ball into the end zone.
Especially there in the middle.
The point you made on the rollout, run pass option, because that's his game. That's Wilson's game.
What he does.
Yes.
That's what he does. No, we're gonna
put some pressure on the guy on the edge to make a decision.
We're gonna throw a quick slant. And the kid made an unbelievable play.
Yeah.
In the traffic, and the kid made an unbelievable play. But I just don't understand Pete saying, we wanted to waste it down.
No.
We wanted to waste it down. We were going to win the game on 3rd and 4th.
And to Jason's point.
And that was just Pete being stupid. Like, he just didn't understand the gravity of what he just did. Because he's just talking.
And to Jason's point, that is the kind of route that if anything goes wrong, I mean, that ball could. I mean, Russell Wilson's not a tall quarterback. An arm goes up at the line of scrimmage. That ball's straight up in the air. I mean, there's a million fucking things that can. A fade is out of the end zone or it's a touchdown. It's safe.
But that's what I'm
saying.
Rollout
gives him an option.
That's what I'm saying.
But a slant? Are you fucking drunk? I mean, are you kidding me?
Now, can you devil's advocate? Everyone in the stadium was shocked that it didn't go to Lynch. I mean, the Patriots are thinking run. But again, actually, I'm going to go against my own point because the guy knew that Butler knew that was going to be a pass, and he knew where it was going.
Right.
How is that fucking possible when everyone knows it should be a Lynch run?
Right.
I mean, that's where the coaching of Belichick to me is so impressive.
Right.
That everybody on the field is not going, oh, that's obviously going to be a run left.
But he said they studied the formation. We knew they like to run rub routes on the goal line or in the red zone, I should say. Not on the fucking 1 yard line.
No. Right.
But in the red zone, we like to run
rub routes.
Well,
we saw it earlier in the game.
But you can't. But with Pete saying they were in their goal line, they weren't in goal line. You can't be in goal line.
Pete's a good
with
name.
4 or 5 DBs in the goddamn
right.
game.
Right. They went 3 wide, kind of to take them out of goal line.
Right.
Actually,
you took them out of goal line. You can't. Just so
now the play that hasn't been talked about yet, guys, is that what should have been a safety in the offsides. Now, the Patriots, were the Patriots going to give him a safety? It almost looked like they were willing to give up the safety because they didn't want to get.
I thought they were going to just sneak it.
I thought it was going to sneak it out.
Okay, but you could have either gotten a safety or a fumble by them trying to do that.
Jumped into
and
the
then
damn backfield.
Fucking jumps and that's it. You ended your whole chance right there.
Everything is
yeah.
done.
Well, what down was? I mean, did they have a chance to get it back? I mean, I wasn't even paying attention.
They probably could have got points. They probably could have stopped them and got a safety. They would have kicked the ball back, which they would have still been down by 2 points. But it would have been like, what, 10 seconds left in the game or something like that? So, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, once the pick... By the way, that might be my favorite moment. One of the reasons I like to watch sports, I mean, it's always been my contention that the only true reality television is sports. Everything else is scripted to a certain extent. And anybody who thinks that anything about pro sports is fixed, you're a fucking idiot. I see people on Twitter all the time. Oh, this was going in. I know the Patriots are going to win this one. The league won. Shut up. It's not. This is completely unscripted, and there's nothing scripted about it. But you have these moments, like a 37-year-old multimillionaire jumping up and down like a 5-year-old kid. I mean,
that's what makes you. But that's what makes you love
he's
Tom
fucking
Brady.
A model. He's 37. He's got millions of dollars. He's jumping up and down like a 5-year-old kid because he just won a game. I love it.
Exactly. But that's what people loved about Brett Favre too. How he loved the game. Mm-hmm. He's running out there celebrating with his teammates, giving it to the fans. Let's go. You don't see Peyton doing that. You don't see nobody else really doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But Favre would take that to an extent to where it was almost he would act kind of stupidly because of that.
Yeah.
Like he was such a kid, and Brady does that, but it's only off the field when he knows they won the game.
Well, you can see how
never on the field.
Tom would throw
not like that.
Tom would throw a touchdown and be like, "Fuck you!"
Oh yeah, he'll do the fist pump and all that.
Oh yeah,
he's not jumping around like a 12-year-old girl like he did on the sideline.
Because I'm pretty sure he was.
And I'm sorry, I said like a girl. Whoops.
But I'm pretty sure he was excited, like not excited, but shocked. These
Yeah.
fuckers threw the ball.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know in his head he's thinking like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
That's what I'm talking about. Pure spontaneous reaction, pure emotional reaction.
Right.
It was awesome. I loved it.
It's like, are you kidding me? You guys threw the ball because Tom knew the game was over.
Yes.
He knew the game was over.
He's sitting there thinking, I can't fucking believe this happening again.
After Jermaine Kearse made that catch, he's like, we're done. We're done.
Yeah.
Then the next 2 plays, they threw the fucking ball, jumping up and down. Are you kidding me, dumb fucks? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely.
He was elated. Yeah. I would be too. Like, I would be in shock and disbelief.
But that's what's great about sports, is that spontaneous, emotional reaction.
Absolutely.
I mean, from a 37-year-old millionaire who's nailing a model, and he's just fired up about it.
He's married to a model. He's got kids with a model.
How many?
I think he got 2.
She snaps right back, I'll tell you that.
She got all the money to do it, and surgery. And
oh, yeah, vaginal rejuvenation.
All that
Whoever came, by the way, the guy who invented vaginal rejuvenation surgery should be, he's a saint. I mean, seriously, but that's create a statue.
I heard. Well, this is probably old. Like back in the day, they said you had to sit in vinegar or something to tighten back up.
Jesus Christ!
Wow, that's what I heard. That was a long time ago.
Save it next time. Just keep that shit to yourself.
Didn't need to know that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have a woman with a saggy cooch than a fucking vagina-soaked fucking thing. You kidding me? Jesus Christ!
They say sit in the. They say she should shit in the vinegar and then
shit in the vinegar.
Shit in the vinegar.
Sit in the vinegar. I had water in my mouth. Sit in the vinegar and then it tighten. I don't know, man.
I can't believe you're doing that.
Sports show.
Wow.
So you told it twice. So you went ahead and just said it again after the first time wasn't enough. Sit in vinegar to get the. Oh, God.
I think we should just leave it hanging
Yeah.
right there
Yeah,
now.
I'm
Just
done.
let that sit out there for the people.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I don't think I'd ever go down on her again. That's what they douche with. What's the difference? Well, right.
Now, what are you talking? I don't see.
That's what a douche is.
I don't know nothing about that.
Summer's Eve, vinegar and water. Watch commercials. Come on. Don't you ever watch commercials?
How are we going football to Summer's Eve?
That's douches are made out of vinegar.
I didn't.
So are salad dressing. But you don't want to confuse the two.
I'm going to try to segue this. Speaking of commercials, did you guys have anything to say about the commercials? They were pretty lame this year, I thought.
I think they were lame.
Yeah, there was nothing.
The first draft ever was probably pretty good.
And then it's just.
Oh, the animal draft?
Yeah,
I think people have gotten to the point where these corporations and these ad agencies have gotten to the point where they're trying so hard to fucking be so creative. Half the time I don't know. Okay, well, what was that for?
Yeah.
It's just like, okay.
All of a sudden it was Allstate or something.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it just seems like a waste of money. People are trying to make their mark, and it just seems like it's a not very effective advertising. Now, if you want effective advertising, come to the Alive and Social Network, because we direct market right to a high. I mean, the people listening to this podcast right now are educated and they got dough. So I don't know what the fuck they're listening to me for, but they are. They are. So come.
Well, we're at the lower end of that spectrum.
Well, we'll still take it.
That's how Howard Stern started, isn't it?
Well, not on podcasting, but I mean, he was in small towns and shit. But but speaking of Live and Social, we should mention, go to Live and Social Network. Is it liveandsocial.com or
liveandsocial.com?
Liveandsocial.com. You get a full listing of all the shows. I think it's 14 shows now. It's outrageous.
It's growing by leaps and bounds.
There's only a couple that you really need to worry about. But no, I'm just fucking with you. No, but go check them all. Go and check them all out, because there's something for everyone. And I'm not kidding. I mean, it's one of the most far-ranging varieties of a programming you're ever going to find, and most of it's pretty damn good.
Absolutely.
So anyway, including I haven't heard all of it, so I can't say yet.
Okay.
Including the Pubcast, which is one of the ones that's not that fucking good, but don't worry. No, I'm just kidding.
mnpubcast.com to find out.
Perfect.
How bad it is.
Yep. And it's not at all. I'm just teasing. Thanks, Lance, for coming in. I'm sorry. Thanks, Horton, because Lance makes it sound like
Lance Horton. That's my name.
Well, I mean,
everybody knows.
All those years when I'm wearing all those months when I was wearing a jumpsuit, I just called you Horton. So I'm not going to start calling you Lance now. Thanks, man.